Jams, jams, jams. Picture books and jams. Welcome, everybody, to PBJamz. Music and picture books, what a perfect sandwich. Squish them all together, what a yummy snack. PBJamz, yummy books and music. PBJamz, reading, writing, teaching. PBJamz.
Good morning, good afternoon, or evening, or whenever it is you're joining us. Annette's a couple of hours off from me, so it is evening though for both of us, just a little later for me than it is for her. So whenever you're here, we're glad you're here, and I'm glad Annette's here. She's been a friend of mine for quite some time, but as we were talking before we came on camera, I think this is the first time we've kind of been face to face. We've done a lot of communicating online and we've done some critique group work together, but I am super excited to welcome you to officially to PBJamz. Annette, thanks for being here.
Hey, Tawny, thank you so much. I just have to tell you that been one of your biggest fans since we met because you are the mecca of get out there and do it, the contests, the critique groups, all the things that authors might have struggle with in the beginning phase of their careers. But you were always an inspiration to me. So thank you for having me tonight.
Oh, thank you. It is so nice to have you. So, Annette Murray is the author who's joining us, and her book, this book is because she has other books too. Hopefully, she'll get a chance to tell us about those as well. But this book is called Bobby's Flippin' Freestyle,
Yeah.
and it's all about hip hop dancing. So excited to talk about this book, Annette. Um, so let's chat a little bit about where the idea for this book came from and anything you want to tell us about the metamorphosis and the journey of idea to published book.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. Well, the idea came from my years as an educator. I spent 20 years with first graders and then 10 years as a school library media specialist. So I had, 5 years old to 15-year-olds. So
Wow.
I really got the gamut of, working with children. And I just had a real soft spot in my heart for those children that do struggle with a language delay. And, or I think that's not our character's main problem, but he's a dancer and he loves to dance, but he has a fear of performing in front of a group. And we've
Uh-huh.
all seen that. We see it in our own homes when we raise our kids. We see it in our classrooms before a child goes out in a talent show. They've got all the energy and the charisma and the pizzazz when the doors are shut. You
Yeah.
open the curtain and wow, oh God, it's my turn. So anyway, Bobby just says I want to enter a dance contest, and he has a coach. He goes to his neighborhood rec center, has a coach, and they work on his dance moves. He's a natural born dancer, and then it's time for the contest. Now let's talk about. It's called Bobby's Flippin' Freestyle, and flippin' and freestyle are kind of two common terms in the hip hop world for
Mhm.
dance moves. And I don't know if your audience is familiar with that genre of music. Hip hop is its own culture. It came from the America in the 1970s. It was going around big on each coastline. New York had their thing going, California had their thing going. Two separate kinds of hip hop going on. And I'll go into the history of it a little bit later, but I just had a love of that kind of dance. And I also wanted to tell this story about a child who did enter the dance world as a competitor and surprised himself.
Yeah.
So, how's that for a little bit of um, a sneak peek, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, for
So,
sure. And yes, I echo everything you said. As educators, we get kind of a little window into some of the things that kids struggle with and also the things that they're really interested in. And so that's a great way to bring those things together. Um, So talk to us about the musical aspect of this book. So we always want to key in on the music here on PB Jams. So and obviously I always talk about dance and music as two sides of the same coin. Like you can't have one without the other. So talk to us about the music of Bobby's Flippin' Freestyle.
Oh, sure. Well, there are four pillars of hip hop music, and I'll just start with the first one. The DJ is the one who is working at the turntable, moving the records around to make the different sounds. He's like the conductor. That's the counterpart of being a DJ, is he's creating the music with what tools he has on, sounds he has on those records. So the turntable really is like the conductor. And then you have the rapping. You might have some lyrics going on. A lot of times they would sing about things that were hip hop artists kind of, they might talk about political things, cultural things, things that are happy, things that are sad. It's storytelling. The whole aspect of rapping is storytelling. The third pillar is graffiti, and that's the art that goes along with this type of music. And it's really the expression. And I think the artist who's not wanting to paint on a wall or a sidewalk, they can express their emotions through dance. So I think there again, there's the hip hop and the interweaving of those two expressions. And then the fourth pillar is breakdance. And breakdance usually is happening at rec centers, on the neighborhood block parties. It's very common. It still is going on. It's 50 years old. Hip hop celebrated its 50th anniversary in America in 2025. And a lot of times the front stoop was where the boom boxes were just, blaring and the kids were out dancing. And the parents get into it too. And one of my friends she's a library director now, said her favorite memory of childhood was not only were the kids out breakdancing, parents would come and join in. So it was just a big celebration. I guess that's really so yes, the book has a basis of being a musical hip hop. It's a story about the music and the dance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that. Love that it's intergenerational and that people have a chance to connect. And the last episode when Sarah was on, we were talking about how music is such an intergenerational activity and how it's something that can be a real bonding experience between generations when when parents and grandparents share music that's special to them, and it kind of introduces kids to a new format of music. But in this case, it might be the kids that are enjoying the music and bringing the parents into the style of music, which is also very cool.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
love that. So if you have grown-ups, adults, whether it be teachers, families, daycare, preschool, and they're sharing this book, Bobby's Flippin' Freestyle, with littles, is there something in particular that you're like, oh man, I really hope they pay attention to this. I hope they don't miss it. I really hope the grown-ups share this with the kids so that they're not missing this one thing. What would that be?
Well, I do think the emotional part of what Bobby struggles with is the fear of performing. That is so common in all ages, but especially for the young child who, maybe they are a great piano player or a violinist or a basketball player or a gymnast, whatever they're doing and performing. If when you throw that audience in there, it changes for the person who's performing.
Yeah.
So I'm just wanting Bobby to he has a very supportive coach who's going to help him with all those nerves. And they talk and they work up through these things before he has his showcase. And one of the main breathing technique is breathe in, breathe out, getting control of your breath, listen to your breathing, and then take your time and then stop and reflect. You'll see little windows of that in the book where Bobby even says it to himself. Oh, I've got to breathe now. He had kind of catastrophe where they all fell down on the floor. I don't know if you can see that one, but
Oh no.
all the kids bumped into each other and fell down, and he's got to get up and regain his momentum to perform and continue. But yeah, the thing I want readers to take away is having a sense of when you're afraid of something, stop and think about it, do your deep breathing, and then move on. Don't let it paralyze you, and let it be a sign of continuing.
Yeah, I think that breathing is like super important, and it's one of the things that I've been well, you know what, since COVID, I really have put that into my classes in the music room. And so we start every class period with some sort of meditation. Sometimes it's a focus activity, it's there's different things, but oftentimes it's that breathing. And it's been really cool to watch the transition of the kids over the last few years to see them really embrace that. In the beginning, it might have been kind of the eye rolling and the whatever, but but now, a lot of times I will see kids just do it on their own, and that's been really cool. I think it's such an incredibly valuable tool that they can use in every single area of their life, whether they're just having big emotions that they're having to deal with, or like you're talking about, a little bit of stage fright or anxiety about things like that. So it's really wonderful to have those tools that we can put into place to help them figure out how to deal with those big emotions or those hard things that they're struggling with.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, so I do have a last question for you, but before I get to that, I want to make sure that we haven't rushed through anything, and that if there's anything else that you would like to tell us about this book, that you have the opportunity to do that. So, is there anything else that you would like audiences to know about this book before we get to our last little hurrah?
Well, I think the story is definitely fitting in the social emotional context of a genre. I did include, because I've been the librarian who's used these picture glossaries. So not only do you learn what the dance is, but you see the little stick figures doing the dances. I love how my illustrator could manipulate these figures to really show how these steps are done. And then I've enrolled in, I did a month of hip hop at one of
Oh,
my
nice.
local studios. And not only was the music fabulous, but meeting the other people, I wasn't the oldest in the room. I was almost, but the ages went from like 15 to 70. And but it really these all these steps are, they probably were created in the 70s, and they're still going strong. Snaking, tutting, walking it out, freezing, butterfly, smurf, running man. um, all of those are and then here is the last page where he's a winner.
Nice.
So and so he
Spoiler
has,
alert.
yeah, so he does have success, and he got control, and he was very pleased with himself. So, but yes, I think it's a book that you're going to enjoy the story, and you can tie it definitely to the music. I would definitely play some hip hop music in the back
Oh, yeah.
in before or after you have read the book, so that kids can even get up and move, and maybe have your own little dance contest in your classroom. It doesn't have to be an elaborate, organized thing. It could just be very spontaneous. But
Right.
yes, and we all know kids like to perform in their element.
They
So
do.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think that'd be super fun. You could do a star circle, or you could do a little a little strut line, and let them, have a little moment in the spotlight, and not even as a competition, but just this kind of just a little fun spotlight
Oh,
moment. And
sure.
yeah,
Yes.
giving everybody a chance to kind of do their own thing.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
teaching them a few of the moves,
Hmm.
or letting a video. I've got some videos that I'm going to link up I was just working on the YouTube playlist before we came on here. So there'll be a nice little YouTube playlist with lots of, moves and things. So if you're not comfortable on your own, teachers, there are some great video tutorials out there that'll give
Sure.
you. In fact, the Smurf sounded very familiar. That's one of the ones that's on one of the videos. And so yeah, you can learn some of those and have the videos teach your kids and then give them a little chance. I love that way of highlighting and giving them, and they'll love that. Yeah, they enjoy getting to do that. Such a fun book. I love that. Some nice layers. We talk often in kidlit circles about the need for layers. So you have the social emotional layer. You have, of course, the layer of the story and the stage fright. You have the dance layer. You have the community layer. So some really nice layers in this book, and you could approach it from a few different angles in the classroom. So that's always helpful, as you know, from an educator standpoint. Yeah. Always good to have different windows into a book. Yeah.
Right, right. I do want to highlight my illustrator. Her name is Sylvia Masick. She's from Ohio, and I met her through a Illustrators for Hire. So
Okay.
I did several interviews for my illustrators, and then once I sent them a copy of the manuscript, I asked for 3 pages, and then I had 3 people that I was interviewing, but she came back with she absolutely was so excited to do this book. She grew up in the doing hip hop, in high
Right.
school. So she was the perfect candidate to ask.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. Yes. Love shouting out the illustrators. We don't have books without the illustrators.
absolutely.
They
Yeah.
tell at least half the story, if not more. So
Yes.
yeah, for sure. Well, so Annette, talk to us about what else is happening for you. What's coming down the pipeline? What are you working on? Tell us, spill the tea. Come on, tell
Oh,
it
okay. Well, when you and I met 5 years ago, I was just getting into the nonfiction genre I was writing about historic Route 66. My first book was ABC, What Do You See Rolling Along the Route? And it is for ages 4 to 8, but now I say 4 to 94 because now that I've been out reading it, the senior citizens are just falling in love with it.
Of course.
It's not a simple book. It's quite lyrical, and I use most letters in the alphabet have 2 sentences with them, like Albuquerque and armadillo and things like that. There's multi-syllable words, but they are just very beautiful. It's a beautiful book. My illustrator for that also illustrated the 8-state passport that is available to all the families and tourists on the route. So I've been busy with Route 66. Then I wrote the Bobby's book, and or alongside Bobby, I was writing another nonfiction biography, the picture book about Cyrus Avery, the father of Route 66. So that is just now at press. I'm excited.
Oh,
It will be
nice.
printed. I've just ordered my first 5 copies to take a look at. That book was 8 years in the works.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I was really doing heavy research on that in COVID. And then it took, I always kept this binder that it just kept growing and growing and growing of research and data. And then I would learn another way to tell someone's biography. That's the thing about our work, our craft.
Right.
You have to study others because when you study others, your writing improves.
Right.
My story changed 12 times.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Really, I have 12 different manuscripts.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the last one best. And I love it because it's called A Slice of Life.
Right.
The first couple of manuscripts had his birth all the way till when he died. This one, we meet Cyrus Avery when he's getting the first phone call to be asked to link all those roads together. He's probably 32 years old, maybe 30. And he knows all these commissioners across America, and they put their heads together and create the Route 66.
Oh,
So,
amazing.
but that's the slice of his life.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
we go with him all the way until he's deceased. And now 2026 is the centennial year, 100 years of Route 66. So there's a lot of celebrating going on in across America this year.
That's amazing. So, yeah, you were working when you and I first met, you were working, and I actually did some critiquing with you on the Route 66 book, and we chatted a lot about that back in the day. And since then, Annette and I were talking earlier, and so I've been to both ends of Route 66 and quite a lot in the middle as well. And it really is such a fun a just a really fun road and just nice to revisit that time in history. And there's several we visited one of the museums along the way that was just had so much cool history and really interesting things there. It was a lot of fun
There is
visiting.
something for everyone, and I'm not just trying to say that as a cliche, but there I have watched how families travel and how big tour groups travel. So I really can see that if the right um, I do think there's some planning involved before you go. That's when I have on my website some tips on how to plan for your trips. So just so you kind of know what's ahead and how much time you should allot. I think that's what happens with some travelers. They get in the car and they think, oh my gosh, we've got 2 weeks. We're going to go. We can't stay more than one night in each city. And
Right.
that they're going to be sorry because I've stopped and I've ended up staying 3 nights in a city that I knew nothing about, but
Yeah.
yet I loved it enough to
Yeah.
stay and explore. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think the nice thing too about Route 66 right now, like there are parts of it that you really can't travel very well at all. But it does lend itself to, I mean, like Shane and I have done it in a few different ways. And I know you were saying you would go do part and then come back and then do another part. And so he and I traveled from North Carolina to Colorado, and so we traveled here and there on the route as we were traveling. And then years later, we were doing another tour and we hit the Chicago end and the LA end. And so it is nice to be able to kind of hit some spots along the way and just really enjoy yourself and take your time. So,
Yeah, that's great.
yeah. Yeah.
And I do like to use the analogy when I'm speaking to adults. I often say Historic Route 66 is like a chapter book. And
Mm,
every time you stop, you get a new chapter.
yeah.
You have new characters, you have new settings, new plots, new history, new stories. It's just magical to me. I
Yeah.
just really have enjoyed learning about it.
That's a great analogy. And so when will your his name is Cyrus, is that right?
Right.
Cyrus?
Cyrus Avery. It's launching at the end of this month, January
Okay.
30th. Yep.
Nice. Nice.
So,
So you guys keep your eyes open for that one as well. And as always, I'm going to link everything up below. You'll be able to get to Annette's website and see all of her books available there, including Bobby's Flippin' Freestyle and her Route 66 books as well. So make sure you check that out. She's generously offering a copy for a giveaway of Bobby's Flippin' Freestyle. So if you are interested in having a copy to add to your classroom or for your family, then just leave a comment right here on the blog. If you happen to watch this on YouTube, make sure you do. In the show notes below, there is a link to the blog. So make sure you go to the blog and leave a comment there. We'll run that giveaway for the entire about 2 weeks that the episode is exclusive, and then the episode will still be there, but the giveaway will not be open anymore after that. So make sure you hop in there and get your name in the drawing. And also remember, if you read any of Annette's books, Bobby's Flippin' Freestyle or her ABC book of Route 66 or her brand new biography, make sure that you leave a review or rate them on Amazon, YouTube. Well, yeah, YouTube too. Goodreads and Barnes and Noble. Those are the most common places. Just let folks know. And I love word of mouth. We talk about that often here on PBJamz. And I think especially with things like, well, I mean, hip hop, it's relatively, I mean, people either like it or they don't, you know. So if you know people who like it and enjoy it, then do please share Bobby's Flippin' Freestyle. If you know people who enjoy Route 66 and they like traveling and they like history, then make sure you share that book with them. And word of mouth is a great way to share books that you love and to bring new books into the life of people that you care about. So be sure to share all of that, and feel free to follow Annette. I'll link her socials below, as well as her website and all the good teacher stuff. I will point out to you guys while I have you listening that you might notice PBJamz has a new format for the blog part. So just click, if you're a teacher, you can click on the images that have teaching tips, and that'll link you to a document. So it's kind of cleaned up the format a little bit of PBJamz and made it a little more streamlined and hopefully a little more user friendly and less text heavy. But all the resources are still there for you. You just click on the appropriate image. So if you're a teacher of music, you're going to click that one. If you are, I think that's the grape. And if you are a general ed teacher or preschool or daycare or families, you're going to click Berry. And then Annette's going to share some writing tips, and you can click on that image. And I'm going to share some writing prompts. So you can click on that image, and you'll have all the good stuff that you need without being encumbered by the things that are not applicable to you. So some new work done there, and hopefully you'll enjoy that. And Annette, thank you again for being here. It's been so fun to catch
Hey,
up.
Tawny, thank you so much. It's great to see you.
Yes, yes. Always nice to see people live. Well, I mean, it's almost live and in person. It feels live and in person.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Next
Well,
best thing.
That's right. Next best thing for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
good
and
luck with you with your upcoming books ahead, and
thank you.
for all that you do for the writing community. You're a real blessing.
Oh,
We are
thank
very
you.
blessed to know you, Tawny.
Oh, I appreciate that. I enjoy so much getting to meet new friends and getting to share amazing books with whoever's out there and willing to listen and watch. And so thank all of you for joining us whenever you're here with us. And I hope that you will check out Annette's books. And I hope you'll join us here next time for one more episode of PBJamz. See you then.
Okay.
What a yummy treat. Jamming PBs all the time. PB Jams. Songish books and bookish songs. Tips for music teachers. Interviews and book reviews. A little singing and dancing. PB Jams. Yummy books and music. PB Jams. Reading, writing, teaching. PB Jams. What a yummy treat. Jamming PBs all the time. PB Jams. Jams, jams, jams.